Most men don't fail in bodyweight and calisthenics because they don't train hard. They usually fail because their training feels hard but is not creating enough stimulus. And there's an important difference between the two. A workout can feel exhausting without creating enough stimulus to build strength, muscle or endurance. And especially with calisthenics or circuit style training, it happens a lot. Sweat, heavy breathing and soreness are not reliable indicators of a good workout. They usually only tell you that you were tired and that you worked hard in some way. Progress comes from creating enough stimulus that is forcing your body to adapt depending on your goal. And that's where a lot of men over 30 get stuck. They feel like they work out a lot, they feel tired after their sessions, they sweat a lot, but somehow nothing is changing. Especially a lot of beginners make the mistake and train in a way where especially their lungs and their heart are the limiting factor and not their muscle. In easy words, a lot of men train in a way where their lungs and heart give up before their muscle is forced and hit enough to grow. And that's not wrong training, it just trains a different quality. But if your goal is to build muscle, we have to have an eye on that. And this video is not saying circuits, conditioning or endurance training is bad. They definitely have their place. The problem starts when everything becomes conditioning and circuit training, and there's basically nothing left that is challenging your muscle to grow and adapt. And I see that constantly with calisthenics and bodyweight training, especially on social media. High rep circuits, minimal rest, constant variation, and it feels productive. And it feels like you're working hard, but there's no real progression in there. There's no consistent exposure to the same movement patterns, especially not at a demanding level. And without that, the body has no reason to adapt. When you are at some point in your training life, you will arrive at a point where when you're working hard enough and you don't have to control your training, and you can go into some kind of variations every single time, but early into the training process, it's usually not working for most beginners. In the end, that's a skill you have to build. And all of this becomes more and more important, especially when you get older or when you're at the older age group and you just get started with your training life. Recovery matters more, joint tolerance matters more, and random fatigue stops working as a growth signal. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean training has to be reckless, extreme, or to the absolute max. Basically means effort has to be placed in the right way and has to be managed. You want to have some sets that are challenging your strength. We want to have sessions that have enough rest included to give you the chance to really work on your output. And not every single session should feel like a pure test of willpower. Hard training is not just about suffering, it's about intent. And I think what we see over and over again is that men over 30 that are making the best progress are not doing more. They're usually doing less, but better. They know when to push, they know when to hold back, and they have done the fundamentals long enough to let them compound. And if your training leaves you unchanged and there are no changes in any kind of parameter, the answer usually isn't more volume. You usually just need better structure. And before you add another circuit, another exercise or another training day, ask yourself these questions. Is your current training plan limited by fatigue or by muscular tension? Can you repeat this consistently and still recover? And is there, especially for beginners, a clear way to progress over time? If the answer is no, your program isn't too easy. It's maybe just misdirected. And once you fix this, bodyweight training and calisthenics, even after 30, 40, 50, can be really effective. I'm not selling any programs here, but you will find a lot of videos with full programs on this channel. And if this video was helpful, especially to change your mindset about training, let me know in the comments, guys. I appreciate all the support. And yeah, I'm Marcus, this is Built Simple, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.